We're Josiah and Lauda, and we exchanged traditional comforts for a life filled with adventure, peace, and freedom when we moved into our van Paz in June of 2021. This lifestyle woke us up from the daydream the system had us in. I originally was planning to propose at the highest point in Baja, which is why we did the hike to
Sierra de Laguna.
Exactly. We went to Sol de Mayo, but I wasn't sure if that's where I wanted to propose. Let's leave it up to chance. So I grabbed a coin. All right, let's talk about marriage. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about... I never thought I would get married. I never expected to get married. I used to always tell people that I didn't believe in marriage, whatever that means. What about you?
Same.
Yeah?
Yeah, my friends know that. They already know what I think about marriage. And my family too. I'm not religious, right?
Yeah, neither am I.
So what's the purpose? And I don't think that signing some papers allows me to love someone.
Practicing law, I see marriage for what it is. It's a contract, right? It's a contract that you sign with an indefinite date, meaning it just goes on forever. Because the assumption is, or the commitment is, till death do us part. I have a friend that married a woman from Italy, and she's from a small town. And what they do there, people that get married have to get divorced every year. So there's this festival where everyone gets divorced. And then they decide if they want to stay married, like get married again for another year, or if they want to go their separate ways. And for me, I think that's really romantic, knowing that I'm waking up next to someone because she still wants to be with me, not because of some paper. People got married historically. Let's talk a little bit about that.
What I know historically is like a trade, right? So you're selling your daughter to get land, to get cows, to get like money, maybe.
Yeah,
it was like that selling thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anything romantic.
Yeah, women were seen as property. And then, legally speaking, there have been times where the law wouldn't let people of different races get married. Until relatively recently, our laws, at least in the United States, said that homosexuals, right? People from the same sex couldn't get married. So I felt like, why I don't need permission from a government to tell me who I can love, who I can be with.
Of course.
Or even like the rules of the relationship. All these rules that the church puts on it, or society tends to force. It doesn't have to be a one size fits all, right? Like relationships in general, I think it's something that you tailor to fit your needs. So with all that being said, why would we get married? I asked you to marry me yesterday, and you said yes. It doesn't sound like, there'd be any reason for us to get married based on what we just said, but it can be really difficult to travel when you're not married. I mean, last year...
I went to the States on March.
Yeah.
You built your van, I helped you, and traveled together for maybe 4 months, more than 4 months. And then I had to come back. I came back to Colombia, and then you went to Colombia, and then you had your surgery, your kidney transplant.
Yeah.
In December. So I wanted to be with you during the whole process, like before the operation, during the operation, and during the recovery.
Yeah.
So that's why I went back to the States.
Yeah.
But they didn't let me in. And I don't remember how many times, but at least 3 times they told me, like, if you want to come to the States, okay, so you will have to marry your boyfriend.
That's not to say that we're getting married because of the paperwork. We want to be together. Marriage isn't the way that either one of us planned to be together, but the fact that we're taking this journey that includes marriage, we're going to make our own rules with it and make it fit our needs. So we're getting married. Let's give a little bit of context, a little bit of backstory to the proposal. I originally was planning to to propose at the highest point in Baja, which is why we did the hike to
Sierra La Laguna.
Exactly. And I was pushing hard. I was super motivated, determined to make it to the top because I had this idea of exactly how the proposal would play out.
But from my point of view, it's like I didn't know anything about that. So I was so frustrated, and I was trying to convince you, like, hey, let's come back because we're really lost. You were pushing hard, and for me, I couldn't like understand why. And I think it wasn't fair for me because I was thinking that you were disappointed of me.
No, but it didn't have anything to do with you. For me, it was just this idea of like, I wanted to propose at the top.
The expectations.
And I was disappointed of this idea of like, this was my plan, and now I don't know where I'm going to propose. I don't know what I'm going to do. But even before the proposal, I mean, getting the ring was an adventure because we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah,
I mean, we're together
24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we're together pretty much all the time. So this idea of how I was going to get the ring, I had to be creative. I told you this story about how my brother needed this anniversary present. He wants to pick something out that's very hippie. I was trying to describe the type of things that you would like. And you even said, that sounds like my style. I don't think that's what she would want.
Yeah, because I know her, and we have different styles.
And so then once we find these rings, you find one and you're like, oh, I really like this one. I don't know if she would like it. And I was like, no. My brother told me whatever Laura would want, pick that one because that's exactly what Lisanne would want.
And also the fingers, like, I don't know if
this one will
fit her because my fingers are very small. And you were like, let me see. Oh no, you have the same fingers. Okay.
And during all of this time, she had no idea that we were actually picking out a ring.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that at all. Like, for me, I was completely full, like my head in the clouds.
And it turns out, I mean, everything worked out perfectly. The mountain knew that wasn't the place that we were supposed to do the proposal.
After the hike, I thought it was a failure. It was completely a failed no experience, because I think you can learn from bad experience and for the good ones. But for me, getting lost in the mountain was like something that we have to go through.
Yeah.
Our relationship has to go through to understand a lot of lessons, and especially I remember that point where I felt trapped. I felt, okay, there is no way to go back. I was talking to the universe, to be honest, because I was like, I'm not sure if I can survive. Maybe I was being extreme, but I was talking to the universe and I was saying like, okay, if there is a way to make it back, I promise the universe that I will take all my decisions from love, a place of love, not a place of fear. That's one of the reasons why I say yes, because if things wouldn't be different and you propose me like before the hike, before the lost, I wasn't sure, but after all that experience, I saw your strength and how you empower me. That's very important. And I realized, yes, my decision was from a place of love. Yeah, because otherwise I will be running.
Okay, so what happened after the hike? I still wanted to propose, obviously, though I didn't know where I was going to do it because I had this idea of how it was all going to play out at the top of the mountain. So after we got back, we started deciding where we were going to go next. And we knew of these hot springs that we had been to before. We were considering that. And then there was this waterfall that I had heard really good things about. I had seen pictures I really wanted to go to. Sol de Mayo. We went to Sol de Mayo, but I wasn't sure if that's where I wanted to propose. I was like, hey, let's just let fate decide. Let's leave it up to chance. So I grabbed a coin out of the little coin purse that we have. And it just so happened to be a Colombian 2019 1,000 pesos, 1,000 pesos. And it has a turtle on one side and then the numbers on the other side. So for me, I was like, okay, I just have to choose which side which means which. So I went to flip it and I said the turtle means no, this isn't the place to propose, and the numbers mean yes. And so I flip it, and right as I flip it,
I was like, what are you doing? Like, we always flip the coin together. So he was trying to decide something by himself. So I was like, what are you doing? What are you trying to decide? And he was like, no, something like if we will stay here or something like that. It landed on the turtle. And I said like, oh, you know the turtle means yes, of course. It's a turtle, of course, means yes. And he was like, no, for me means no.
well, I didn't say like it always means no. I just thought you had to choose. Like the same way at the beginning of a game, you call heads or tails. Like I figured you have to choose which side means yes. And Laura was explaining.
This is something that I want to discuss. Like, if someone there wants to clarify, just like the turtle always means yes, right? The animal for me always means yes, and the one with the number means no. For me, it's like something that everybody knows except for Josiah. And I'm glad I was there to explain it to you.
Anyway, so it came up turtle, which I guess means yes. And so I was like, well, I mean, what are the chances that she would see me do it, say all those things? So I decided, yeah, I'm going to go through with it. We walked down the path, and the rest is history. Society or their parents or religion or everyone has been telling them, no, you can't do this.
Yeah, maybe someone in the past told them, like, that's weird.
She knows about what life actually means, you know, because she went to the other side one time.
And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like our channel.